Welcome to Naked Spirituality, a video blog series of sacred attention therapy and the Center for Human Awakening. My name is Rob Meager. For more information about sacred attention therapy, the Center for Human Awakening, and our video blog series, please visit our website at www.centerforhumanawakening.com. And center is spelled C-E-N-T-E-R. These video blogs support one of the center's core activities, which is collaboration and partnership with individuals, communities, and healing centers practicing personal growth and spiritual development. Our guest today is Alberto Agraso, and we will be talking with Alberto about his healing work through art and writing. And I'd now like to invite Alberto to come on screen. And I'll welcome you, Alberto. Welcome to our video blog series. Thanks for being with me this morning.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure, my honor to be here.
It's nice to connect with you in this way because I've had the honor and the pleasure of you and your wife, Moni, speaking about one of your books.
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to speak with you in this way and talk to you about your art. Because what strikes me as I explored your website is just how prolific and a creative spirit you are. There's just so much
Yeah.
you do and so much you express. And hopefully we'll be able to get into all of that during our interview. But I wanted to ask, when did you first begin to express yourself through art and writing? When did this journey begin for you?
Well, to express myself, that is like two milestones, no? Since always, I was always drawing, especially drawing. I was since I was a little child, because at that time there was not internet, there was not so much money either in my family. Then the easiest way for me to entertain myself was to draw, because my father, he loved comics, and he draw so much. Then he put with me after he come from the work, and he sit with me, and he start to teach me how to draw and all that. And always for me was a huge pleasure. I enjoy myself so much to drawing and making cartoons. That was how I started. After I cut them with scissors and I play with them, like they were toys. That was my toys, my own creations. And the writing was more, I started with reading, because I read a lot too, because my mother loved to read, and she had a library in home, and she put us, my brother and me, when we were little, to read her while she was cooking. And then we were reading all the time. We get that custom. And after I developed my interest to express myself too, but that was much later in life too, when I thought that I had something good to express, something good to communicate in the writing,
Mm-hmm.
But it's true that I always had a passion for arts and for visual arts and for writing.
Alberto, would you describe yourself as self-taught, or have you had formal training along the way?
Well, I had some formal training. I had, but the majority was myself. And I always liked to do what I liked to do. I didn't like it to make art or to write to sell something, but to enjoy. I wanted to do for enjoy. And then when I started I quit my job. There is a story there. No? When I was older and I found enlightenment, it's a way to say, I quit my job. I never, even when sometimes it was difficult to make money, but I always get what I needed. I never wanted to sell, to do a view, or I wanted to bring the message or the magic that I had discovered, and then I started to use my art with that mission, with that purpose.
Right.
And then I always wanted to do something that for me was meaningful, not only to get money for that. And until today, I have been doing that. Sometimes I had made money with it, many times, but was always because that was something that I felt that was the right thing to do, and that was something good in that. Yeah.
How would you describe yourself as an artist?
Well, I feel that, well, I love arts, but I feel that my art is a way to express something much more important, and something that even I will leave my art. Is I will need to leave my art for to focus in what is more important for me. I will do it, and I did, even because when I walked to, that I walked with my wife, with Moni, to Jerusalem. I was for 1 year. I almost didn't draw anything, and was because I was totally focusing what I needed to do in the inner journey that I call the inner journey. This that you know very well. This the why we are here, who we are. There's a purpose in life, and that for me is that really passionate me. And my art and my writing is a way to not only to express what I am discovering, but through it I open new roads, and I clarify myself, and I discover new ideas, because with art too, it's not only I express what I think. In some way, I channel what I feel I need to know in that moment, or somebody need to know in that moment. I connect with a higher intelligence, what had created everything. And
Now, this connecting to a higher intelligence, it's expressed through you in many ways. And just some examples, if people listening and watching aren't familiar with your work, but just some of your expressions include painting portraits, children's and adult illustrations, comic books, sketches and drawings, coloring books, children and adult books, and sculptures.
Yes. It's a long time now that I don't do sculpting, but I love sculpting too.
It's quite a breadth, of creative expression. And where do you get your inspiration?
Well, how I was telling you, as with my awakening, to call it, I could go back in time and to tell you that since very little I feel attraction to spirituality, because I wanted to be a priest. I grew in the Catholic church. My mother wanted to be a nun, and then when I say that I wanted to be a priest, she was so happy. But a good thing that she taught me was that over all things there is a God, that over all things is love. Love, and I had a strong, that made me happy, and I could feel it. I was a very faithful child. With the years, when I started to feel contradictions with the teachings that I was receiving from the church, and with what I felt that a God love we do, I didn't understand the suffering in the world. I didn't understand for sure hell, that there is, God is going to put to his own child in hell forever, for eternity, that kind of things. I started to doubt. But I started to doubt more about my vocation to be a priest and about what I knew. But I always felt that there was something, really, that love existed, but I didn't know how it was. Then when I reconnect with spirituality, I connected with that God of my childhood, but with another philosophy, with another understanding, another vision, And then I think I had lost the question that you asked me. What that you asked me?
I asked you, after sharing just the real variety, of creative expression, where you get your creative inspiration.
Well, my inspiration can from my connection with that source, with that God love that is with us all the time. Is just now with us here, never leave our side. I think it's our real self, or real deep self, that had come to this light to experience, and it's always with us. It's like this two personalities, so many small personalities that we are, many egos and a big self, and I try always to connect with that self, and this self is always connecting with me when I am open to it. And then the vision that this self, myself, my higher self have, is what I try to express in my paintings, and is what I try to discover through my journey and through my paintings and through my art. the higher vision, that why we are here, who we are, what is the purpose for us to be living this amazing experience, and to do the best that I can with my life, and then my art and my writings is a wonderful way to do it, to express and to help others maybe with what I am discovering, but at the same time to go beyond of what I know, because I know very little, but my art and my writing and my journey, especially my journey, is help me to discover more and more. What is this?
Alberto, how do you feel your art has matured and developed over the years? What did you begin creating? How did you initially express yourself through your art, and what came next, and so on?
Well, when I didn't have this vision that I had today about life and about all is good, and that is higher intelligence that is with us. It's not that we are puppets. We have the free will to choose, but this higher intelligence know why all this is happening and is with us all the time, supporting with much love that we cannot imagine. Then before that, I had especially in how are the teenage years, no, the adolescent years. I passed for a time of sadness that I didn't find myself, and I saw how difficult it was the world from that perspective that I had at the time, how to find a job, and to how many things bad happened, how many people died for sickness or for hunger, or how many injustice, from that perspective that I had at that time. I didn't see the big vision that today I have, but I'm sure it's even much prouder that I can imagine. But my art reflected that sadness, and that there was a lot of melancholic positions. There was beauty. There was beauty because I always feel attracted for the beauty, but there was melancholic feelings. There's sadness. There was the warriors fighting against injustice, and the big monsters that sometimes horror. There was a lot of that too. But when I discovered this, when my perspective of things, my vision, that I think is why we are here to see better, what is really happening, who we are. When my vision raised, my art started to reflect what I knew at that time, the new self that I had become. And then all was, all was joyful, all was meaningful. There was still things that maybe we didn't like or could be better, but the monster showed themselves as like they had been like angels in disguise all the time. There was a purpose for everything. And we only needed to understand what was really happening, for that fear or darkness dissolve. And then my art started to show that, a lot of magic,
Because a lot of your art, your drawings, your sketches, paintings, they have deity-like or mystical qualities about them. If not the main character or the main image is that of a deity-like figure. And again, mystical is a general theme. What significance are these themes for you in your work?
Well, it's very difficult to express, how we express the truth. The final truth had many faces, and we know, there are many religions in the world, there are many philosophies, there are many ways to understand life and who we are, but really all we are trying to explain the same thing, that essential truth. Then with my art, you sometimes see maybe a more either like Indian goddess, or or you see a wizard in the Celtic woods, but they are all trying to say the same, or they are expressing the same, because I think all we are the same. But I need to choose, or I feel in every moment to choose unconsciously or consciously in the moment to express in a determined specific way, and then it's but I am totally open. It's what I feel in the moment, whatever is consciously, or when I open, because I like to do that. I had the white paper or the canvas, and I don't know what I'm going to do. And I start to dirty and to put lines, and then little by little, it start to make sense. And I start to see a message. I start to see a beautiful, because always they come so meaningful, But at the beginning, I don't know what I'm going to do. And another times, I had an idea, I want to talk about peace or inner peace. And then I think it's the same. I had the idea before, or I had the idea when I am drawing. I think all the time we are connecting with that source. Is we are open to it. Is we really want, and we center ourselves. That is a thing that I do. Is that before to do anything, is I remember, because sometimes I forget. I try to center myself, like we had done before this interview. Center myself, connect with the higher consciousness, and allow whatever need to come, or the best that can come, to express. I don't know if I answered your question, but
you did. I'm biased towards your sculptures. Sculpture is a medium for me that I gravitate towards. There's something about the three-dimensional quality, of that art form. And I wanted to ask, what materials do you use for your sculpture?
I use clay. It's what I learned.
Clay. Okay.
That was I was pretty old when I think I was in my 20s. The first time that I get a piece of clay, but I draw very well at that time. I had very good skills in drawing and illustration, but I never had tried sculpting. And then I meet a good friend. I meet a guy in a course that we become good friends, that he was a sculptor. And he said, you need to try this. And then one day I went to his house, he showed me the basics and the tools, and I went to my home with a piece of clay, big piece of clay and some tools. And the first figure that I did was amazing for somebody that had never do that, something like that, and that was the way. And I really love it, because what you say is the same, and it's maybe very symbolic or metaphoric too. Is you are not only seeing one side of the story you had many points of view of the same
exactly
peak. Then maybe it's that what you connect with that, and you can make many pictures of the same figure, and each one is saying the same but from a different angle, and that is beautiful. I really love it.
I was pleasantly surprised to hear that the medium is clay, because it looks like wood.
Yeah, because I use a technique when, I don't know, is what I thought, when I finish the figure, I bake it in an oven, and after I get the varnish for the wood.
Varnish, okay.
Varnish, and this make it darker. Yeah. And it's very polished, because I like to polish my sculpts a lot, and with the varnish that maybe had that appearance of wood. I didn't think to do it that way with consciously, but it's the way that happened. Yeah,
they're beautiful. They're beautiful.
Thank you.
Alberto, do you have a studio that patrons can visit?
No, I had been thinking about that. And money had been pushing me, you should look, but I had not yet. What I had is a blog that is Alberto Agraso blogspot.com, where I had my writings too, some articles, and I had all my art is basically all there. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have
I had my Facebook page too, where you can see my work there too. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any upcoming exhibitions?
Well, it's not really. There is something that is coming, but it's something that I had present some pieces and will be with another artist, but it's for the book cover of a good friend that is making this exhibition, and for this kind of choosing. But I had not in mind any, but I am always open to it.
Okay.
I'm always open to it.
All right. Well, if people wanted to keep in touch with you, to hear about any upcoming exhibitions, or a studio space that they may be able to visit, how could they reach out to you, Alberto? Is there an email address or a website that they could visit?
Yeah, they could come to my website, that is walkingforpeace.com, or they could come to my blog, Alberto Agraso, blogspot.com,
Okay.
or they could come to my Facebook page, that is Alberto Agraso Art blog, Facebook. No, Facebook.
Okay. And what about an email address if they wanted to reach out to you directly?
Sure. It's the same. It's Alberto Agraso, arroba, workingforpeace.com.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, make sure that that contact information is in the scrolling credits.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Alberto, well, thank you so much for being with me today.
It was my pleasure.
And for sharing your art with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much to you. That is a great program that you're doing.
Thank you. Bye-bye.